From blessing us with the talents of Matt Damon to having songs written about him, here are some things you definitely didn't know about Ben Affleck. Let's start off with his early days. Did you know that his father worked as a janitor? In the critically acclaimed movie Good Will Hunting, Matt Damon plays a caretaker who works at an Ivy League college, like Ben Affleck's father, who used to work as a caretaker at Harvard. Later, Affleck acknowledged that Damon's character took inspiration from his father, Timothy Byers Affleck. His father was a playwright aspirant who was mostly unemployed and worked at Harvard as a carpenter, auto mechanic, bookie, electrician, barman, and janitor, among other jobs. He also worked as a stage manager and actor for the Theater Company of Boston in the middle of the 1960s. Fascinating, no? What else is fascinating is that the actor's full name is actually not Ben Affleck. The actor's full name is Benjamin Jeza Affleck Bolt, and he was named after a friend of the family who survived the Holocaust in Hungary. What else? Oh yeah, we wouldn't have had Matt Damon without Ben Affleck, by the way. Back when these guys were fairly young, Ben Affleck and Matt Damon were close friends because they shared a home only 2 blocks apart. Our Batman introduced Damon to his New York agent because he was already a child star in the industry at the time. It's difficult to predict exactly how Matt Damon's career would have developed without that introduction, but the two actors have been together through more than that, because if you've seen Field of Dreams, you definitely didn't know that Ben Affleck and Matt Damon were extras in the Fenway Park scenes of Field of Dreams. Both made cameos as teenagers. Ben Affleck, a die-hard fan of the Boston Red Sox, also managed to collaborate with director Phil Alden Robinson once more on the movie The Sum of All Fears. But coming back to Good Will Hunting, both of them even wrote a guy-on-guy scene. Affleck and Damon included a scene in the first draft of the movie where 2 professors give each other some oral action. It was just to see if the producers were actually reading their script. In 2013, Affleck told Boston Magazine that they felt like they had to develop a test as they were more than frustrated that Castle Rock wasn't reading the script. They had weird screen directions which included weird words and extra scenes, and when they turned that in, somehow the production team never mentioned the scenes. Like, how crazy is that? Almost as crazy as his epic romance with Jennifer Lopez. Now, we're all huge fans of Bennifer, right? But let's go back a bit and recall the good old days. I'm talking about the time when Affleck cradled J-Lo's butt in her 2002 Jenny from the Block video, which was also a career low for the actor. He admitted to having an affair with J-Lo in a newspaper advertisement. Affleck wrote in a full-page Hollywood Reporter advertisement that cost several $1,000s in 2002, congratulating a married J-Lo on winning the Show West Female Star of the Year award. This whole thing is also known as the priciest pickup line ever, and things just didn't stop there, because I bet you didn't know Lopez wrote a song about Ben. Their relationship's highs and lows have been well documented. It is not as frequently mentioned, though, that Lopez once made a song called Dear Ben about the Hollywood legend, the one where she said, "I think God made you for me," a mix of passionate fidelities. Yikes! While I'm glad things are good between them now, Ben's life hasn't always had that many happy endings. I mean, remember when Affleck was allegedly expelled from a casino for card counting? Ben occasionally has been seen having fun with a little gambling. The actor, however, reportedly faces a ban from the Hard Rock Hotel and Casino after being accused of card counting in 2014. And this isn't even the worst part. Did you know Ben Affleck was personally driven to rehab by Charlie Sheen? Ben Affleck spent time in treatment back in 2001, and according to reports, the actor was personally driven to a Malibu rehab facility by a fellow television star to check the Hollywood legend in. Later, Affleck would offer Lindsay Lohan moral support throughout her 2013 rehab stay. Moving on, another thing that you not only didn't know, but also never even expected, is that Ben penned a condom-related article for a teen manual. Affleck contributed to Damon's stepmother's teen manual, Risky Times, How to Be AIDS Smart and Stay Healthy, before information about his antics was splashed all over the tabloids. It contained a tale about the time Affleck once bought his first safety net. He remembers the traumatic condom purchase and said that he felt so self-conscious and idiotic, but it was all over in a second. The store lady gave him a stern look before ringing them up and placing them in a bag, and then Ben bolted out of the store. Other than that, Affleck struggled to adopt the goop way of life when he dated Gwyneth Paltrow before his well-known relationship with Jennifer Lopez. Their life lifestyles didn't exactly mesh. After they broke up, he said in an interview that meditation wasn't really his thing. He said that Gwyneth and he were not together because the actress was much more evolved than he is. She was closer to inner peace, and things were kinda challenging for Ben in life, which led him to poor life choices, just like getting some really awful tattoos. Following his split from Jennifer Garner, Affleck shocked his ex-girlfriends by indulging in the archetypal midlife crisis tattoo, a sizable back piece of a phoenix emerging from the flames. Affleck has made other mistakes with ink though. He has a dolphin on his right hip, which he got to cover up an old tattoo of the name of a high school girlfriend, and an unsightly splotch on his right shoulder from another poor choice, among many other tattoos. He was 16, so let's cut him some slack. He didn't even have the best imagination back then, and went to get a barbed wire tattoo. Affleck also told the New York Times saying that he decided he didn't like the tattoo, so he had roses tatted on top of it. Coming back to Matt and Damon, they started in a viral video war way before it became cool. After Sarah Silverman mocked her ex-boyfriend Kimmel with the viral video, Kimmel and Affleck responded with their own star-studded clip, "I'm Ben Affleck." Unfortunately, Silverman and Kimmel split up, but Damon and Affleck are together to this day. What else? Batman isn't the only superhero he's played. Ben Affleck played actor George Reeves in Hollywoodland, the star of the 1950s TV series Adventures of Superman, in addition to his widely panned stint as Daredevil and his upcoming turn as Batman. And what do you know? He is the first prominent actor to appear on screen in both Superman and Batman's outfits too. Now, while that was lighthearted and fun, Ben's life has been pretty dark too. For starters, he had slavers as relatives, which he didn't want us to know about. It came to light that Affleck had asked the PBS genealogy program, Finding Your Roots, to hide the fact that he had such an ancestor. He said that he didn't want a man who owned slaves to appear in any television program about his family. After the incident, Affleck apologized, saying that he was embarrassed he had a bad taste in his mouth just thinking about it. And lastly, the thing you probably didn't know is that he wore a bat suit while rewriting the Batman vs. Superman script, although we like to think that he did so on purpose to get creative during rewrite sessions. A source told Us Weekly that Affleck was frequently spotted working on the script while decked out as the Caped Crusader. He would go into his wardrobe and get all suited up for the day in his Batman suit, and then he would spend time sitting and revising the script, as Ben wasn't happy with it and kept finding himself having to fix it on the big day. Having said that, that was all for things you didn't know about Ben Affleck. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.
It's hard to add muscle to your body, you know, especially at my age. It's tough, and that's what we did. I ended up putting on about 2.5 pounds of muscle a month and really changing my body.